And you wonder why, and I've asked this question to myself many times. How is that possible? How would that happen? How would the Antichrist be able to deceive conservatives, liberals, all at the same time? We're seeing it right before our eyes. We are literally witnessing this right before our eyes in real time. When I talk to a conservative Christian who I have known for decades, and this person has read the Bible his whole life, he has done Bible studies for decades, he has warned people about the coming Antichrist for years, for decades, and I asked this person, what do you think about Elon Musk? And he says he loves Elon Musk. And then you talk to the liberal who is pro-choice, and he's pro-Sodom. He's not a Christian, but he loves Elon. How obvious do we need to get? We're literally seeing what the Bible is warning about. I'm not saying that Elon Musk is the Antichrist. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you can see exactly how the Antichrist would be able to deceive all these different factions. You're seeing it in real time. Not only is it possible, but it's very easy to do. Jesus wasn't murdered by liberals. He was murdered by conservatives. And because the life of Christ is the life of the church, then the Antichrist will be a conservative. Elon Musk is a classical liberal. That is true. Yeah. And so is Dennis Prager. People think that because he's anti-woke, that means he's right-wing conservative, but they forget that wokeism is an offshoot of liberalism. Thank you. This is 100% true. Wokeism is a sect of liberalism. And what wokeism did, it started out as the SJWs. And what happened, oh man, so the whole war on the SJWs really started out as a war between atheists. That's how it began. There was this atheist thing that happened there. So like there was the whole atheist movement with Dawkins and all those guys. And then all the atheists would get together and they would just stroke each other's egos for hours. And then some atheist chick said, oh, some atheist dude sexually harassed me in an elevator or something like that. And then that sparked this whole conversation about feminism and sexism in the atheist movement. And then so it caused this schism in the atheist movement, in the new atheist movement, where you had atheists who were anti-SJW feminism and atheists who were all about that. They were all about being SJW and everything. And so that's what caused the whole anti-SJW versus SJW struggle on the internet. And that was like, Thunderfoot was a big voice in that. I remember those days. Milo Yiannopoulos was a big voice in that. This eventually, it's somehow connected to the whole Gamergate thing where you had all these people saying that there's too many racists playing video games or something like that. And then that's what led to the rise of all these various dark enlightenment type voices. The whole dark enlightenment thing rose up in the midst of the anti-SJW phenomenon online. And then eventually the SJWs became woke. You know, then they went from SJW to being woke. People need to understand that the whole war on the SJWs was something that was done primarily by liberals, neoliberals, and it was a civil war. And I've talked about this numerous times. What you're seeing is not exactly conservative versus liberal. It's liberal versus liberal. You have liberals versus SJW woke liberals, and then you have liberals who believe in eugenics and they hate the wokies, and the eugenist liberals are more closer to the real original liberals, the fundamentalist liberals, like the progressivists of the 20th century who believed in eugenics and Darwinism. And that's where you have people like Sam Harris and all that. And Elon Musk, you know, they're all eugenists. Peter Thiel, eugenist. They're all liberals. They're all eugenists. And conservatives are like, oh, wow, this is the conservatives. Look how cool conservatism is. And I'm like, no, you guys are being fooled. Or you're just evil and you're joining this bullshit. But it's a civil war between the liberals. That's all this is. And you have these dumb Christians, American evangelical Christians and American Catholics who are joining in on the fight, and they're saying, oh, we love Elon because he's anti-woke. And I'm thinking, you do realize that if Elon Musk, or if someone like Elon Musk took complete power, that he would put you in a camp, right? Like, he would put people like you in camps. And he would probably want to use people for human experimentation to use his, to try out his various microchips, because he wants to download people's memories into other people's brains. Guys, it's like the movie Get Out. Remember? Damn it! That movie was freaking prophetic. Now that I think about it, oh my God. Now that I think about it, the film Get Out, which is one of the greatest horror films ever made, it really is a great movie. That movie was freaking prophetic. Okay, so for those of you who have not seen the film Get Out, if you have not seen the film Get Out, I highly recommend that you do because it is a great horror film. And if you are a fan of science fiction horror, you will more than likely enjoy Get Out. So Get Out is about a black dude who's in a relationship with the white chick. And they're getting really close. And they're basically in that stage of a relationship where they're talking about being husband and wife. I mean, they're in that they're verging on the husband and wife conversation. And so they love each other. And so they're in that point of the relationship where it's serious. And the African-American gentleman says, well, I'm going to visit your parents. And so he's going to go visit this girl's parents. So they go to her parents' house, and the parents live in this big, beautiful, kind of cabin-like house in the middle of the countryside, and it's really, really beautiful. They got all this land, and it's just really nice. The father is a Democrat. Hardcore Democrat. And the father says this in the beginning of the movie. He says, if I could vote for Barack Obama again, I would do it. So big liberal, big Democrat. You would think, okay, these people are progressive. They would have no issue with a biracial marriage relationship. They're progressive. They're open, tolerant. They're going to embrace this guy. But as the story goes on, things become weirder and weirder. And eventually, what is revealed is that this father of this girl is actually a eugenist. And he believes that the black man is superior to the white man in athleticism. This is what this guy believes in the movie, that the black people, that the black male is superior to the white male when it comes to athleticism, and that the white male, while being inferior when it comes to athleticism, is superior to the black man when it comes to intelligence. And so he thinks, I have the perfect idea to create a Übermensch. Let's take the brain of a white man and put it in the body of an athletic black guy. Then you will have the perfect human being, the athleticism of a basketball player and the brain of a white Democrat scientist. This is what goes on in this sick guy's head. And that's what this guy is obsessed with. And so he uses his daughter to lure in this black guy to put his brain into this black guy's body. It's a science fiction horror movie. But you know what? It's not too far off from Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk is obsessed with what? Well, he's obsessed with the Neuralink because he wants to help cure people from paralysis. Elon Musk is obsessed with the Neuralink because he believes that he can download people's memories into other people's brains and thus live forever, because he believes that the essence of our being, the essence of our existence, is our memories. This is what Elon Musk believes. He has said this very explicitly, that without memories, we don't really exist. What makes us exist as human beings is our memories. And so before we die, before our bodies die, if we could just download the memories from our brains and then upload the memories onto another brain, that we would then live in this other person's body, because our memories would be in this person's brain. It's straight out of Get Out. So when you watch, I remember watching this Get Out movie, I'm thinking, I watched that film back in 2017. Great movie. I thought it was a great film. But I thought, are there really people who want to do that? Come on, this is a movie. And then we saw Elon Musk. It's something out of a horror movie. So if Elon Musk and his gang take full power, guess what's going to happen to the people who don't acquiesce to his little utopianism? They're going to become the guinea pigs. They're going to open up your head, and it's going to be like something out of the Hannibal Lecter movie. These people are sick and evil. Christians are falling for it because Well, it goes back to what people have been saying for decades about the Antichrist. The Antichrist will deceive people. He will deceive people who call themselves Christians. He will deceive conservatives. He will deceive liberals. And you wonder why, and I've asked this question to myself many times, how is that possible? How would that happen? How would the Antichrist be able to deceive conservatives, liberals, all at the same time? We're seeing it right before our eyes. Exhibit A. We are literally witnessing this right before our eyes in real time. When I talk to a conservative Christian, who I have known for decades, who I have known since the 1990s, and this person has read the Bible his whole life, he has done Bible studies for decades, he has warned people about the coming Antichrist for years, for decades, and I asked this person, what do you think about Elon Musk? Even after the Sieg Heil. And he says he loves Elon Musk. And then you talk to the liberal who is pro-choice. And he's pro-Sodom. He's not a Christian, but he loves Elon. How obvious do we need to get? We're literally seeing what the Bible is warning about. I'm not saying that Elon Musk is the Antichrist. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you can see exactly how the Antichrist would be able to deceive all these different factions. You're seeing it in real time. Not only is it possible, but it's very easy to do. They created a boogeyman called wokeism. And then they made it out to be that wokeism was the biggest threat ever. And then bam. Bring in your Constantine, whatever his name is. Bring in your Dennis Pragers. Bring in your Jordan Petersons. Bring in your Elon Musks. Bring in your Glenn Becks. Bring in your Peter Thiels. Bring it all in. And you got them all together. Not that complicated. You're literally seeing it right before your eyes. And this is how Christians will follow the Antichrist. Guys, many years ago, back in 2000, I want to say in 2012, I want to say 2013, I wrote an article. And the title of the article was, Jesus was murdered by conservatives. This is what the title of the article, I'm pretty certain that was the title. If you guys are interested in reading it, I will find it for you guys, and I will put the link in the chat. I wrote an article saying, Jesus was murdered by conservatives. And it's true. The people who wanted Jesus to be crucified were conservatives. You think they were liberals? You think these rabbis were liberals? No, they had conservative views. They were conservative. By even our standards, they would be considered a conservative. And they murdered Jesus. Conservatives murdered Jesus. There's a reason why Jesus never really brought up homosexuality. Because he didn't have to. Because people already understood that it was wrong. They were conservatives. They murdered Jesus. Jesus wasn't murdered by liberals. He was murdered by conservatives. And so because Jesus was murdered by conservatives, and because the life of Christ is the life of the church, then the Antichrist will be a conservative. If the people who murdered Christ were conservative, the Antichrist will be a conservative. He will be a conservative with views that overlap with the so-called progressive left. And by that, he will be able to just bring everyone together.